Hey everybody, it's Pete Chayo from the Meadville Tribune Sports Department, and it is time this week for Sideline Confidential, episode number 21.
Blackjack.
Blackjack, yeah. And that voice you heard was Matt DiGiacomo, which you haven't heard for a few weeks now because he's, scheduling and everything like that has been pretty weird.
Yeah. Holidays and weekends and stuff like that. Stuff going on.
Yeah, so we just couldn't get it together, all three of us, but today worked out, so here we are. And then there's Jordan to my left, and you know what he sounds like. He hasn't missed a show yet.
No, it's been a staple, I guess.
The show must go on.
Yep.
Let's see. So Super Bowl was Sunday.
Yes, it was.
I watched it.
It was fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine game.
I don't think it will go down as like a super memorable Super Bowl, even though like the comeback was pretty great. But like it kind of just like I don't know, it was quick too. It was just like they were losing, and then you're like kind of dazed off for a little. Like I didn't care who won, so I wasn't super locked into every moment of the game, even though I watched the whole thing. And then I'm just like, oh wow, they're gonna take the lead right here, and then it's like. I mean, I think the credit to the Chiefs, they did it. They made the big plays when they needed to. That 3rd and 15, the deep ball, kind of changed everything. I think they were down 10 at the time. And, the Niners, they got to make more plays. I mean, Garoppolo didn't make enough. When they're up 10, you kind of want to, put your foot to the gas pedal and close them out. And they couldn't do it. You can't do that against a good team like the Chiefs. And the end, that's it.
Yeah. It was a pretty low stakes night for me.
Totally low stakes, yeah.
Kind of half watched, half played Switch.
Yeah, I was on the fence on who wins. Because one hand you have Kansas City who hasn't won it in 30 years, so it's like a new team, even though it's not a new team.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a new team basically. And then on the other hand, you had the Niners who, if they would have won a 6th Super Bowl, would have irked the Steelers fans. Another team tied with us.
Irked the Steelers fans and the Patriots. I ended up rooting, I think, for San Francisco. But, I mean, it didn't bother me in the slightest that the Chiefs won. It was kind of cool seeing Andy Reid win. And
I like Andy Reid.
Pat Mahomes is pretty likable, too. I mean, there's nothing really that he does that really bothers me at all. So
no.
Except beat your team when you...
except win, which is more of a me problem than a Pat Mahomes problem.
Commercials were pretty good. Halftime show I wasn't real excited about, but they were pretty good. The dancing was impressive.
They're definitely like they're entertainers.
I only recognized like 30% of the songs that they were performing, which was unusual.
It was very Miami, I would say.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like they knew what the show would be for the city, and I think that was kind of a cool thing. It wasn't just generic rock band or whatever.
There's a lot of people complaining about it.
I think it's what is it?
People just love to complain.
Yeah, that's what I got too. Is like people were saying, "Oh, kids shouldn't see this," or it's like it wasn't that.
No,
it wasn't that bad. Like
they weren't performing sex acts on stage.
No, they were just doing like from Shakira's point of view. That's like traditional. I think like South American dancing. Yeah.
I haven't seen a halftime show in years. I usually switch over to the Puppy Bowl.
Oh, do they do because it's on in the afternoon? I know the Puppy Bowl is on the afternoon.
They do it like all night.
They just rerun it. Yeah.
No, I didn't switch over to the last
commercials.
thing to the whole thing anyways. I was here.
It was fine.
The commercials, Google kind of tried to make me cry.
That kind of worked.
Yeah.
That one with his
Mr. Peanut was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
That one, I guess they had to like quick switch it because I think the first one they were going to like kill the old Mr. Peanut.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
Right. They this one they switched it and him like getting revived into like Baby Peanut, but I think they were gonna like originally like take out Mr. Peanut and he was like falling from like the sky or something, and they had to like get rid of that because of what happened with Kobe Bryant.
Oh.
And so I think they were concerned they scrubbed it, and they were like, "We gotta redo it." So it seemed kind of weird, and it was
a weird connection. I mean,
right? It's a strange connection, but they put what over $1 million, $5 million into the commercial, and they don't want to have any controversy from it. But in the end, they just got left with a really weird, strange commercial.
In the end, I don't know why they would try to shy away from controversy if it, gets their name out there, gets the advertising out there. You would think any news or any publicity is good publicity in a case like that.
And it would be, and then again, it would be another thing if they made the commercial after the Kobe Bryant thing happened. The commercial was made how many months ago? So
I think everybody would understand.
Yeah.
It's also Mr. Peanut. Like it's. You're being goofy in that regard anyway.
It's an animated Peanut. I don't know that anybody's going to make a connection with poor Kobe Bryant.
But yeah, the other commercials, I guess, none of them really stick out to me.
I like the Bill Murray one.
Bill Murray,
yeah, that one was. I saw afterwards. I didn't see any of the commercials, but
Doritos had one with Lil Nas X and Sam Elliott. The kind of the cowboy showdown.
People were complaining about that too.
People were complaining about it. People probably just don't like Lil Nas X.
This great actor. He's a character actor.
And he has a sense of humor. Yeah, he's funny.
He's funny. Yeah, it was cute. I don't know what everybody's getting all up in arms. There was a lot of get off my lawn stuff on Twitter.
Yeah,
Sunday
that seemed the vibe to me. If you didn't like the halftime show, that was kind of like the vibe I got was like get off my lawn, and then the other one was if you don't like it's fine. People don't like Old Town Road, but it's kind of like it was designed to troll country music a little bit. It's like making fun of it a little bit, and
I like the little tag by Billy Ray Cyrus at the end.
Yeah,
I ain't dancing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a goofy song. Like I think people take stuff a little bit too seriously.
You think so? I think they do too. So that was the Super Bowl. Football season is done for another year.
Yeah, just in time to start the NASCAR season.
A pretty awful one, to be honest. Yeah, we're about, 2 months out from the start of baseball season?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pitchers and catchers probably report within, next
probably
week
the end of
or
March,
2 weeks or something.
Well,
Spring training starts in, I think, the 22nd.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked for that, man. I can't wait
to
get back out to some baseball games.
Yeah.
But
the weather changing will be nice.
We still have some winter sports to get through.
Yeah.
Wrestling this weekend. Sagertown went to the quarterfinals of Class 2A, District 10, the duels. They got to the quarterfinals, ended up losing to General McLean. General McLean ended up taking third. They lost to Corey, a real close match against Corey in the semifinals. And but Reynolds, as we expected, took the whole thing down. They won their final two matches
146 to nothing.
Yeah, they blanked Corey
they beat Corey in the final 70-0, and then they beat Mercer in the semis 76 to nothing.
Yeah, so Reynolds just trounced their way to the state duels.
Get something here because this doesn't always happen. All 4 region champs made it to the semifinals, so they beat 2 region champs, 146 to nothing.
It's astounding, really, how amazing that team is. That program is something else. But then tonight, this is Monday night that we're recording this, was the preliminary round for the state duels at different places. General McLean, they ended up losing to Westmont Hilltop, which I think was a WPIAL runner-up. Yeah. They lost to them 51-21 tonight. Corey, the D10 runner-up, they beat Quaker Valley. So they're going to go to the state meet along with Reynolds, which starts on Thursday at the Giant Center in Hershey. And then the AAA will be Cathedral Prep. They won that earlier last week.
Yeah.
And they're going to.
And that's also starts Thursday. And
yeah, that's going to be.
The finals will be Saturday? Correct. Is it Thursday? I think it's Thursday, Friday. I think they do. Yeah, Thursday. I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the.
What's Reynolds going for? Their third straight state title.
I think fourth straight title.
What a team! Unbelievable. Basketball, you guys went to. I know. I tried to go to a basketball game tonight. I wanted to go down to the Lakeview Sharpsville game. Mm-hmm. Here's what happened. I went home to eat, and then I was leaving. I was heading to Lakeview. I'm noticing my engine's idling real weird. And I'm like, and then the engine light's on, and I'm like, man, I am not going to risk this. I'm not going to get stuck on the highway. I'm not going to Stoneboro and having my car die on me and get stuck down there. So I didn't go. That game ends up going into overtime. Sailors beats Sharpsville 51-43 in overtime to maintain second place. That would have been a heck of a game to be at.
Yeah.
But the dear old Kia Soul 2010 is starting to have some issues. So I decided it would be safer to stay in town, and we missed a good one there. But you did not see a very good game. It was a good game if you're a Meadville fan.
Yeah. I think it's just one of those games, you're playing a struggling team like Oil City, that you want to just, get out early, showcase some of your stuff, and then, get the bench in there and get some experience for the JV team. And Meadville accomplished all those goals because they have a big game. They have a big game coming up on Wednesday against Grove City. That their next two games, I believe, are against the two top teams in the region, which is Grove City, and then on Wednesday, and then at Slippery Rock on Monday night. So they got to focus in. They got the Oil City win out of the way. They're starting to get some wins, pile up some wins, stack them, but next tests are right ahead of them. So that's how they end their season with two tough games. But I guess it's a playoff primer. You get two tough games right before the playoffs, and then you see where you stack up.
They won tonight's game over Oil City 66-14. They were up 25-6 in the first quarter, and then blanked the Oilers 18-0 in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Youch.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lisa went to a big one tonight. Sagertown beats Cambridge Springs 38-34. That was a close one. I guess Cambridge Springs was leading pretty much the whole game. It seemed like. And then Sagertown do what they do. They clamped down and ended up pulling it out, winning the fourth quarter 15-5 to win that game by 4 points.
Cambridge has lost some tough ones.
It's been a rough few days for them. They lost Thursday to who was it? Was it Maplewood? Yeah, they had some foul issues. Ended up losing to Maplewood, and then they lose a lead in this one. I know it's gut check time for them. I think they're going to be. I think they're a very good team, and I think once they get to the playoffs, I think they could get some wins and maybe get into the whatever. I think they have it in them. It's just this now's the time to start getting back their swagger and seeing what they could do. That was a tough one for them. But it's a good one for Sagertown. I mean, Sagertown's been shutting teams down lately. That's their eighth or ninth win in a row. They're really playing well. Cockerton beat up on Eisenhower 69-37. West Middlesex beat Jamestown 75-24. McKenna White, UMass recruit, she scored 41 for West Middlesex in that one. Sagertown went all the way out to Knox, Pennsylvania to face Keystone. Two Panthers going at it. I believe Keystone is the Panthers as well. Keystone's a good team. They're 17-2 now. They beat Sagertown 82-40. Yeah, that's quite a good team. Let's see. Meadville, they lost to Plum 4-3. That's going to be a tough loss for them.
Overtime.
In overtime.
So I think they get a point out of that.
Yeah, they get a point. But
you need two.
Those schedules are so weird with all the teams that have games in hand in that Class 2A. They need every point they can get to try to stay in second.
They got 2 games left. One's against Mars. One's against Moon.
Moon's right behind them, right?
Mars is right behind them. Mars is the one that just beat them 5-0, or Mars just beat them a couple days ago.
Okay.
And right after that, they went out and they beat Armstrong to pick up 2 points, which was huge. They get a point tonight. If they can win their last 2, I think they can hang on. But I mean, they've had this problem all year where they win a big game, lose a big game, win a big game, lose a big game. Every time you talk to them, he's like, "Oh, we gotta play better. We gotta play better." Yeah. And that's just it. There is no time left. They gotta play better now.
Yeah.
And get it going for the playoffs, or else they're gonna be sitting at home.
Yeah. Cole Weber did get a hat trick in that game, so he scored all of them. 3 of them. So, great game by him. Just, I guess, wasn't enough.
Swimming, Meadville got the sweep. That was a big win for Meadville girls over Mercyhurst Prep today, 83-77. They had lost to Mercyhurst way back in the beginning half of the season. They came and turned it around this time around. Olivia Frilberg had a couple wins. Ella Stewart had a win. 400 relay team had a win. And the boys, they're having a pretty good year. They won 126-33 over Mercyhurst. Apparently, Mercyhurst Prep only has 4 boys on the team. So,
wow.
Yeah. So they're 0-9, I believe. But the Meadville boys improved to 6-3 on the year. I think the Bulldogs qualified a couple more swimmers for District 10. They finish up at home on Thursday against McDowell, which is going to be a tough one. And then after that is a last chance meet up at McDowell. 2 Saturdays, not next Saturday, but the following Saturday. And then District 10 is going to be, is that in Geneva again? Yeah, in Geneva, Ohio. Let's see what else is going on. What else is going on? Is anything going on? Did we talk basketball? Oh, boys basketball.
Yeah, we got some boys and college too.
College. Let's see.
Allegheny had a nice week.
Oh yeah.
They did have a nice week. We I think talked about the
Wabash.
The Wabash win.
Yeah.
But the close one against Wittenberg.
Right.
How did that end up? That was Saturday.
That was Saturday. It was Allegheny was behind 3 points.
They're playing number 6 Wittenberg.
Yeah, Roberts got fouled on a 3-pointer. Or no, he got fouled. Was it a 3-pointer? No, he got fouled.
He missed one.
And
he made one.
He made the first one and missed the second one on purpose. And he did a great job, I guess, of hitting it off the rim and getting it right to his guy. And then when they went up for the shot, it got blocked, and they ended up losing by a point.
77-75, 2 points.
Or 2 points, yeah, because they were going for the tie.
They were up late in that game. They almost pulled off the second straight upset over a ranked team. That's really something for them, man. Maybe they're gonna, this is gonna be a program to watch. It sounds like in coming years.
Because I think the only main guy who's a senior is Rawls. I think everyone else is younger.
I know Roberts is just a sophomore.
Yeah.
Reynolds is a sophomore.
They have another kid who's pretty decent.
That Keno Holmes is a freshman.
Freshman.
Yeah, they have a lot of returning, minutes coming back for them. So,
boys basketball at the end of last week. Let's see. Meadville, you were at the Meadville game with McDowell, weren't you?
Yes.
That William Jeffers had a day, didn't he?
Oh, he is outstanding. And he did it all. I mean, he brought the ball up court when they needed him to. Offensive rebounds. Someone passing the ball on the baseline. He took 2 steps, took off, and dunked it over 3 people. Later on, he grabbed an offensive rebound, went right up and dunked it. He had a nice spin move in the lane for a beautiful finger roll. He was hitting mid-range jumpers, long-range jumpers, no-look passes. I mean, there isn't a team in District 10 that has an answer for him.
No.
He is by far the best player I've seen. He reminds me of, for Meadville fans, LaShawn Lindsay. He's got the height, he's got the same feet, he's got the good hands, but I think he's a little bit better shooter in all phases of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Free throw line, mid-range, long range. Everything he's putting up just seemed to fall.
6'7" junior?
Yes.
So we got to deal with him for another year yet.
Yeah. I mean, he was hitting 3-pointers 3 and 4 feet behind the 3-point line, and swishing them like they were nothing. And I know LaShawn has a good outside shot, but I don't know if I was watching him in warm-ups before the game, halftime, and then watching him shoot during the game. He's so consistent,
He ended up scoring 31.
31 points. I think he had 14 rebounds. And I've had him for 5 or 6 assists. And
they ended up beating the Bulldogs 71-47. That was on Friday night. And I imagine they had something to prove to themselves because they did not, because Meadville lost to them the first time, but Meadville played them tough, and I think they weren't happy about that.
They weren't happy about that. They were also coming off a loss to Cathedral Prep, and that's a rivalry in itself. So they wanted to take that off somebody.
Floor, and Prep was trying to do ring their new victory bell. So I guess McDowell was probably pretty mad about that
popped.
stuff.
You saw the video.
It was a bit of a scuffle, yeah.
Nobody threw any punches. It was very good self-control.
Talking to the players and the coaches, that really. They wanted to win that game because they got 1 game left against Kennedy. That if they beat Kennedy, they get home court for the District 10 championship game. That's what they're looking at. That's the only thing they care about.
Speaking of which, tomorrow night Kennedy will be at Meadville High School.
Yes, and Meadville played them tough the first time.
With missing 2
Missing,
starters.
right.
And it was crazy. I mean, Meadville was up late. They had some bad, maybe a bad call towards the end as the Bulldogs were trying to bring the ball up the court to maybe tie. Ended up losing by maybe a basket or 2. I can't remember the final score on that one. But, it was a close one. And I believe Kennedy just lost to Prep, didn't they? Last week? I think so.
So, yes.
So Kennedy's human after all. Let's see if Meadville, with all their starters back, can take advantage of the situation. I don't know that Meadville's ever beaten them. They haven't been playing them for that many years, ever since Kennedy moved up to 6A. But that would be quite a coup for them. That would maybe get them in gear towards the last bit of the season here.
Right.
So that's going to be a big one tomorrow.
That'd be a huge win, especially if, as I said, McDowell wants a home court advantage against Kennedy.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Meadville wants to beat Prep, they need to get some momentum going into that.
Yes, they do.
A win over Kennedy would certainly provide a lot of it.
Also on Friday, Cambridge Springs, they beat Union City 68-43. That was a wild day. It was the 50th birthday for Cambridge head coach Rebecca Leandro, so they were celebrating that. They were also supporting Megan Cunningham, the assistant principal at Cambridge Springs. She has leukemia. She was diagnosed with leukemia, started treatments for that. So they were doing a lot of stuff for her, like a ticket auction, selling T-shirts, doing different raffles and everything like that to try to raise funds for her treatment and for the other patients at the Barco Oncology Institute here in Meadville. And they had a big game to play, and I believe with that game they got like a step closer. Cambridge Springs did. They beat. We gave you the score already. It was 68-43 over Union City. With that win, they got like one step closer to clinching that region, and I believe Cambridge Springs is going to have a chance tomorrow when they travel to Maplewood. If they win that one, they clinch at least a share of the title. They would have no losses. And who's behind them? Youngsville has 2. And so Youngsville would, if Cambridge were to lose their last 2 games, they would end up tied atop the region. However, I think Cambridge could hold out and run the table on this thing. Oh, did we mention in the girls' part that with Cambridge's win over, with Sagertown's win over Cambridge in girls basketball, that clinches the region title for Maplewood outright. They already had a share. But with that win, it's all alone. It's all Maplewoods for now, and that's their first outright win. I believe Lisa put it in her story since 1992, 1993. So it's been quite a year for Maplewood athletics, considering what their football team has done and what their girls basketball team has done. They're having some really good success down the line here. Let's see what they got for us in spring. Their Sagertown or their softball and baseball teams are capable of doing some stuff, I'm sure. What else is in spring? Volleyball.
And even though the boys team is not in running for that region title, they're going to make the playoffs, and they might make some noise. They got some players on there.
They've been getting a little bit hotter as of late. Yeah.
And let's see, still on back to boys basketball. Friday, you were what? You were at Sagertown, Cambridge Sagertown.
Congleton, Sagertown. Congleton, they had that real rough start to the season, and since then I think they're about 500. So they've turned it around.
They started 0-9 or something
and
like that.
they've righted the ship pretty well, and beating teams that I think Sagertown's kind of struggled in region. With they have a young group, but Congleton was able to get a solid road win against a rival, 76-61. It's kind of just a gritty game all the way through. 61 combined free throw.
Whoa!
It's just like those teams are just battling it out in the paint, and everybody's getting called. And Congleton, credit to them, they were able to. Force a lot of turnovers from the young guys on Sagertown, and great all around team win for them. Sagertown kind of made it close at the end because Logan Ingram, I think, had 17 points in the fourth quarter.
Wow, 17 of his 23.
he had 6 shots in a row.
Oh wow!
And it only got them to they were down so far. It only got them to 11. But it was just a wild thing to watch. A guy single-handedly will his team back, and Coach Canfield was pretty mad that his team's defense started letting up open shots to one of Sagertown's sharpshooters.
Yeah, I bet he was.
Yeah.
Also on Friday night, it wasn't a good day for the Cash boys. They ended up losing to Sharpsville, 77-46 in a Region 5 game. However, it was a pretty good night for one of their members. Cole Askey came into the game, needed 16 points to break 1,000 for his career. He got it right on the nose, 16 points in the loss. So he's got 1,000 points. That's the second member of the Eagles boys basketball team that broke 1,000. Tanner Neiman did it earlier this season. Now Cole Askey got his. They're going to honor him for that achievement tomorrow, Tuesday, when Cash hosts Greenville in a very winnable game for them. So that's going to be a big night for Conneaut. So keep that in mind. You're going out there tomorrow. So that's mention it. Let's see what else. What happened Friday? That's about it. Maplewood lost to Eisenhower 69-53. Lakeview beat Mercer 49-43. So there's your 43 what did you say they always score? Somewhere between 39 and 45 points.
Lakeview. Yeah.
Let's see. Tuesday we mentioned Cambridge Springs at Maplewood. Eisenhower's going to be at Cochranton. Youngsville, Union City, Greenville, Conneaut, KC at Meadville. Wednesday's kind of kooky. We got some scattered non-region wrestling matches going on. Gannon's at Edinburgh men's and women's basketball. Grove City at Meadville girls basketball. We'll probably end up going to that. And then on the 6th, that's Thursday, boys basketball. That's another one of those weird days. Girls, boys, wrestling, swimming. We got everything going on. Boys basketball, Toledo at Jamestown. Lakeview at Farrell. That's going to be a big one in that region. Slippery Rock Homeschool at Calvary Baptist, y'all. Girls basketball, Jamestown at Commodore Perry. Cochran at Maplewood. That's going to be an exciting game. Even though it's kind of wrapped up, those teams are over there next to each other. They get after it. That's going to be fun to see. And then Slippery Rock Homeschool at Calvary. Swimming and diving, as we mentioned, McDowell's going to be at Meadville for their final home meet of the season. Wrestling, Commodore Perry's going to be at Lakeview. Yes, sir.
No, I was going to say that McDowell one. A lot of people might not even realize that that swim meet is on the schedule. Earlier in the year, Meadville was supposed to host them, but for some reason they got switched, so they went up to McDowell.
Is that right?
Yeah, so because they actually their last meet when they swam against Warren, their previous home meet, they had their senior night because it was already scheduled and everything.
Oh,
because the McDowell swim meet was supposed to be at McDowell, but it got switched. So.
And then Friday boys basketball, Union City at Cochrane, Youngsville, Sagertown, Prep at Meadville, another big one for the Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, and then Meadville's home again on Saturday. They're hosting Franklin. So that's that. Is that?
That's high school sports.
That is high school.
I don't know if you guys have any interesting pop culture stuff, or if you just want to call it.
Well, Just,
I think the interesting pop culture stuff was really Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, there is. I mentioned just that this football season's over just in time for NASCAR to start. I see our NASCAR page get ready to start this Thursday.
Yeah.
I believe qualifying. They start hitting Daytona this week.
They do that a week.
Qualifying is next week. Yeah. They'll have the twin 150s or whatever right before.
Oh right.
Or maybe it's 2 weeks. And then the race is right around the corner, and we're off to another
8 months of NASCAR.
Yeah. Wow. So be prepared for the NASCAR page coming back.
They asked if we wanted to continue that page. I told them yes, because A, it gives us some run over room for Jimmy stuff on Wednesdays to his bowling column, and B, there's still NASCAR fans in the area, and we have something midweek for them instead of just running race results.
There's always some local flair too with it too, right?
Yeah. Well, there's places, and then that gives us a place where we could throw in some Indy cars, some Formula One.
Mm-hmm.
We have a place for racing. At least once a week.
Right.
Even though come Mondays, even after when the races are done, we usually only have room for a NASCAR result because we have, every other sport under the sun playing.
Right.
I kind of said, let's keep doing it because it's been tough because the Associated Press hasn't been really active with NASCAR, and so it's we have to kind of scrounge for stories from them, and maybe go to different news outlets to get stuff to kind of run on that page. So that's the worst part is getting information, getting some stories, some content to fill that space. But we can do it.
271 days until college and NFL football start up again.
Oh my God, that's not even worth counting, Hero. 271.
It's the saddest day of the year for diehard football fans like me.
What about XFL? You can watch XFL.
I mean, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Hey, sure.
I watched 5 weeks of that stupid AAF.
Did you?
Alliance.
Six and a half months it took to start working on the football tab.
Oh, stop!
The
You're not allowed to bring that up until July.
We don't even
Late
we haven't
July.
even started the spring one yet.
We don't
do one. We do just preview stories.
Previews,
Yeah.
that's right. We
Thank
haven't
the Lord,
started
though,
the
because
previews, that's right.
Yeah, I believe that they don't.
Actually, the funny part is this would be the easiest one to do because you can always say, well, can we push it back a week because the season's not going to start for
Right,
another 2 weeks since the snow.
No, there's always
Well,
the
actually,
one,
this year the snow hasn't.
There's always the one county baseball game I have to do in the snow.
Right, right, because their field is a sieve and it just drains all the water out, and they could play in no matter what conditions. And they're also 10 degrees colder than anywhere else in Crawford County because of that.
I thought it was
like a giant ice cube.
I think it was it was maybe like a month or so, maybe a little bit longer than a month, like 5 weeks in that I started working here, and I think it was the first baseball game I covered, and it was snowing, and I'm like, I hope this isn't the whole time.
Well, we might get lucky this year. I mean, the groundhog said it's going to be in early spring.
I trust the groundhog. I believe in the groundhog.
It certainly is evidenced by what it's like today. It's February 3rd, and it's currently 50 degrees outside. It's kind of.
I liked it. I enjoyed that day.
It might be subtropical by the time we get to baseball season around here.
Anything else?
I haven't been still watching stupid pinball videos and not like doing anything.
Yeah, I've been watching like YouTube stuff.
Yeah,
like, nothing,
I've gone back.
nothing topical. I guess the Democratic caucus today was a disaster. But
Yeah, I wasn't following that. They're flipping coins.
yeah, so I noticed. I was like, so I saw one of them one delegate had to be decided via a coin toss, and I was like, wonder if this happens more. And I searched it on Twitter, and there were like 3 of them. Like
I didn't know that
3
was a thing
delegates
until
decided
just
via
now.
coin. If it's a tie, I guess in the precinct, they decided via coin toss, which seems silly.
Yeah.
Seems like you should find a better way to do it. Some of this election stuff seems extremely outdated.
And they're primary, so who cares?
Well, I guess.
It's the total votes.
I
It's
bet
the total
Bernie
votes by the end of
Sanders. I bet Bernie Sanders cares that he lost a delegate to coin toss.
Yeah, and wasn't one of them that he had a lot more people, he had like a lot more people vote for him, but they considered it a tie for some reason with Buttigieg or something like that.
I think, yeah.
I'm not really following what's
And
going
like
on. I don't
caucuses
understand
don't make any sense.
No.
They're very confusing. I think it's probably something that they invented in like the 1800s, and they're like, this is how we're gonna do it because whether it be like Iowa, that these people have to like take their horse and buggy and like
I guess
ride
so,
out
from
there.
all,
Because like now primaries you just go in, you vote, and you go home, like the regular election. And for this, they have to like stay in this gym for hours and like collect, like go into your group, and then if your group is not big enough, then those people get to pick another group if they want to. And it's this like very convoluted, and it's like no wonder they're not getting the votes in time. This seems silly. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I kind of enjoyed the humor. I always try to find the humor in things.
They need to.
And the coin tosses were very funny.
They need to
I'm not
have
finding much humor in politics lately.
I think they need to have everybody's primary elections for the presidents on the exact same day. Everyone goes in, they vote. The people with the most votes then go in and.
Seems simple. I like that. I think
that way,
sense.
I quit voting in the primaries because every time the primary got to me, half the candidates that were any good have already dropped out because everyone votes for the schmoozer who is going to end up stealing all their money at the end.
The middle of the road guy.
But I was just thinking, of No Country for Old Men when they had like, what's the most you've ever lost in a coin toss, and now Mayor Pete can say a delegate.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I didn't know that that's how they resolve things. It does seem very antiquated.
Mayor Pete.
Seems cute. I don't know.
It sounds good.
Mayor Pete.
You gonna run?
What does the mayor do around here? He kind of just runs the police department, doesn't he?
I don't even know if he does really any of that.
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of a figurehead.
I think Chris Soft got
Then apparently you're one step away from being president.
How's that?
Because Buttigieg is running.
Oh, that's true. He's more than one step away from being
The
president.
I think he has like 2% or something.
Basically, if there's a city council meeting and there's a tie, the mayor gets to cast the deciding vote.
I could do that. I could cast deciding votes.
You get to give key to the city to people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love giving keys to people.
That'd be fun. I would do it like every day. I would give it to somebody.
You get a key. You get
Yeah.
a key. And Chris Soft got the fountain fixed up in the diamond that one year. I remember people were complaining about that tax dollars. The fountain looks like crap. Get it fixed. Now it's lovely
People
out there.
like walking out there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little.
For the number of
city.
people that hang out in that park over the course of a year, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I drive past it constantly. I remember when it used to look like it was blue and it was like kind of tilted and it looked like junk. It looked like
They would have. All they had to do was put a little safety box or something out there. People could drop change in when they were walking by. Oh yeah, fix the
nobody's
fountain.
gonna put change in, and I don't have to get that fixed.
Well, no, but it would have helped. They could have gotten.
I think it looks lovely. I
No, it
congratulate
does.
that.
It looks great. I don't have a problem
A
with it.
nice urban initiative.
Then yeah. So that's politics.
That's
That's
politics
our foray
this
into
week
politics.
with the
Yeah.
three
And the
people in
Oscars
little,
are Sunday.
Yeah.
That's that. That's about it.
I vote for. I have a. I just.
You have a favorite?
I'm just gonna no.
Yeah, I don't either. I use that. Normally, I use the Oscars to see if I would want to watch the movies that are in the Oscars.
Half the time,
I'd like to see Endgame, Avengers Endgame win something because I liked it so much. That's about it.
Every once in a while, like the green card was fantastic.
I didn't see that.
Green Book.
The Green Book with Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Great movie. It was interesting. Had some good music.
I can't believe you saw it.
Oh yeah.
There were maybe 10 people in the country that saw it.
I saw it, and I loved it. And it's like, man. But I also saw Moonlight, which was the most boring movie on the face of the planet.
No, I like Moonlight. I thought it was pretty.
I've never pulled the trigger on Moonlight. It's on Amazon or Netflix.
I think it's on
or one of
Netflix
those,
now, yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of the other one. Which one? What one was Moonlight?
La La Land.
No, I saw
La
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 Land was
Land.
good too.
I liked La La Land. I don't know. Moonlight was just.
I
That's the
get
one where they
why
had
these movies. I get why the Academy likes these movies. It's like it's hard for me to get behind a movie winning Best Picture, and I feel like nobody's seen it.
Yeah, how can it be the best picture if nobody saw it?
Well, it's not the most popular.
That's
picture.
right.
It's-
Right.
That's right. But I just feel like
I there are some that I've seen that not very many people saw. But sometimes they do take the most popular movie because I still say to this day that Shawshank Redemption was a way better movie than Forrest Gump. I liked Forrest Gump, but Shawshank Redemption was way better.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the last
Forrest Gump
time.
was more
It's aged a
popular.
lot.
I'm trying to think though, like the last time the most popular movie won. Maybe it was Forrest Gump, like to be honest, or Titanic. I bet.
Oh,
Titanic.
Yeah.
I know there's
Which I didn't think Titanic should have won either.
No, it wasn't all that great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it very rarely is. Very rarely blockbusters coincide with Best Picture. I bet that's a very
It is.
small Venn diagram.
It is.
I think
very, very rare.
this year the only shot is Joker. Would be the only chance because Joker made $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Did it really?
Yeah.
I still haven't.
And I think what got people to go see Joker was one, the Dark Knight success. People wanted to see a different portrayal than Heath Ledger's because Heath Ledger's was so good, and the fact that the media kind of hyped it as this like dangerous movie.
Yeah.
And I think people that makes people more compelled to see it. I saw it I think last week. I rented it and watched it, and I thought it was really good. I thought Joaquin Phoenix was great. He'll win the award.
Well, he's just great.
Yeah, he's just a really good actor.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if the movie in itself is the best. My goal is to see at least a few this week. I think I might go see 1917 and
Saw that.
check out the Tarantino movie.
Oh,
Some of them I won't
saw
get
that.
to. I don't really want to watch Marriage Story. I think it's going to be super sad.
Yeah, I don't want to watch them.
I don't want to sit for 2 hours.
I
and
like
be
Noah
depressed.
Baumbach movies, but I don't care to see them.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the dissolution of a marriage.
See, and that's not like another movie that should have got credit and should be in there. Like I loved Knives Out this year.
Yeah,
and it was just where's
I think
that?
it got writing. nominated for writing.
Screenplay or something.
Yeah, which is good because a whodunit is pretty tough to write because like you have to have everything like tie up at the end and and also make it not obvious while also making it you have twists and turns. And
that was great. The performances were great.
I loved that movie.
Great. The story was great. That should have been nominated. I feel. Then again, I haven't seen a lot of the Best Picture nominees, so I saw two. I saw Once Upon a Time, and I saw 1917.
Yeah, those are the two that I think I really want to see. That and like I do want to see Jojo Rabbit.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to see that. That didn't come around here, man.
Yeah, I think it's available for like rent.
I might have to do it.
Yeah, that movie looked the premise was very intriguing, and I was like, I think I want to see this. And it's funny. It's supposed to be funny.
Well, we know Taika Waititi is
super funny. Yeah.
Oh, that's the other one. Then for Knives Out, Daniel Craig should have got Best Supporting Actor or something. Come on.
That accent was so
he was
ridiculous.
maybe not just the accent, but just his performance was so eccentric and funny. His donut inside a donut speech and him singing in the car and stuff and the little touches he used. It was such a bigger performance than what you're used to seeing him do in Bond. Or
I was just
like
so
that.
happy to have like an original movie, like a movie that's not
an
based
existing
off
IP.
anything. It's just somebody had an idea and wrote something good. It was refreshing.
Just like he did with The Last Jedi.
we don't have time to go back into that. So that's this week's Sideline Confidential.
It is. Thank you for listening. Listen again. Get in contact with us if you'd like. We can be reached by email at sports@meadvilletribune.com, or you could hit us up on Twitter at Tribune_sports. And you have a Twitter too, don't you?
At JR Hansgen, HANSGEN. Hit me up with a follow. I tweet from the games when I have access to my 4G coverage.
You can get updates on all the Wake Forest happenings, everything's going on with The Bachelor. What else?
Do I tweet about The Bachelor?
You do.
I do a couple times, yeah. I a lot of it when I'm not doing stuff for work, I like to make little jokes and stuff. I like to have fun on Twitter.
Matt, you want to give them your TikTok account or
TikTok? I don't have TikTok.
Your Insta? Hit Matt up on Insta.
Nope.
All right.
Hit him with a follow.
I guess that's it. Thanks for listening, guys.
Hit me up on the landline.